Larry's gonna help me film my intro. Such a nice guy.
For a beautiful prop.
Greetings, loved ones, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to another vlog. This video I am planning to call something along the lines of "The guests are coming," similar to "The British are coming," because we are having Corvidia's first birthday party here at the house with a lot of people, a lot of friends, a lot of family, like 60 people, including us, and including babies. So I guess like if most of her baby group friends come, 15 or so of those people are infants, but I am going to have to cook a lot and clean a lot and prep a lot in this video, and we're very excited. We're having a taco party. That's what seemed like the easiest to feed the most amount of folks. So I'm gonna do just like a big Dutch oven of 2 different kinds of meat, and then like a smaller pot of butternut squash filling for vegetarians, and then just do like a bunch of black beans, some rice, you know, taco things. And then also just, yeah, get to some cleaning tasks now that it is getting a little bit warmer, although it is very gloomy today, and unfortunately it's going to be very gloomy throughout the course of this week. And I'm just hoping that the sun will come out on her actual birthday, because I want to have yard games. I also need to run a ton of errands, need to show you some things that I'm going to be setting up for her actual birthday, and just like share all of that with you. And then I'll probably upload another video like after her birthday party. So I'm gonna try to include as much like decor focused things in this one. But yes, we got a ton of people coming into town. Nevin is coming into town, my best friend, who is now living in California and has been out there like since she went to college, so like 10 years ago, which is crazy. It makes me feel very old, but that's true. We're 28 now. And then both my siblings are going to be flying in from the West Coast as well, which is such a treat. My parents are coming up. Finley's whole family is coming up. Well, at least both of our immediate families. We didn't do like a whole extended family invitation. Well, that's a lie actually, because I have a ton of extended family around this sort of northeastern area of the US, so I invited all of them, and some of them are coming, my aunts and uncles and stuff. So it's gonna be a total blowout, folks. I am really excited though. We haven't hosted anything of this caliber at this house, so we are putting a lot of finishing touches on a lot of different places. Finley is like power finishing the second bathroom downstairs so that people don't have to use our bathroom up here that we hate very much. So he's got his horse blinders on, or his construction hat and blinders, I should say. And I'm just gonna be focusing on all of the like fun little party things. I'm trying to finish this video though before anybody even comes into town, so I can just like, you know, have this, put it up for you. And then my plan actually is to film a video with my sister tackling some other things when she's in town, just like organizing and all that kind of stuff around the house. So look forward to that. I know I am, because I could really use her professional organizer skills around here. And the last video that I uploaded was my closet cleanout video, so I still have like a ton of clothes to list, so we're gonna do that in this video. Anyway, I'll stop talking about it and start showing it, honey. But Larry and I just wanted to say hello. All right, folks, let's make some marinated chicken for tacos. I found this recipe online, and it's for a pound of chicken. I am cooking 8 pounds of chicken, so I did times this recipe by 8, and I will link it down below. But this is all the ingredients on the screen, and I ran out of lime juice, so I used lemon juice as well as orange juice, and I hope that's fine. Just putting in all of the ingredients for the marinade into this giant bowl. All of my seasonings were also like running incredibly low since I had to times this recipe by so many, so I was just sort of getting to the bottoms and the dredges of all of my canisters, and I was like, damn it, I hope that's enough. I hope this is like seasoned enough. I don't want under-seasoned chicken. I wouldn't want to be a total white person at this taco party. You know what I mean? That would be horrible. So what can you do? Also, I tried to hand grind from my pepper mill into a measuring cup. Horrible idea. Then I tried my mortar and pestle. Again, horrible idea. Then I put it in a food processor. My peppers still did not grind down. So, you know, I was just like, whatever, we'll have some black peppercorns in there. Then I added my 8 pounds of chicken. I didn't show you that process. You know, I don't want to scare away any of my non-meat eating viewers, but yeah, the chicken's in there. It's going to marinate in the fridge for ideally 24 hours. And then we're going to pick up this recipe when it's all marinated. And in the back, I'm just sanitizing my hands and my sink. I'm gonna have a little spot of tea while I make the chicken that's been marinating overnight. Cheers. Let's get after it. Okay, we got it cooking low and slow at 250 for an hour. My 8 pounds of chicken We'll see how it looks in an hour. It might need an additional hour after that. Okay, chicken update. Let me turn the light on. So it went in for an hour, and then I flipped each piece over individually on each rack, and then I added more marinade onto it, and then I put it back in for another hour, because I'm keeping in mind, like, the recipe that I'm going off of is for a pound of meat. I'm putting in 8 pounds of meat, and my meat thermometer just broke. So I'm like hoping that I can just like take a piece out and it'll be cooked through. Honey, she's obsessed with our pizza pan. Okay, the chicken turned out fantastic. I just finished shredding it in this giant bowl. I'm gonna pour some of the excess marinade and oil and stuff that came off of it onto the pan into the bag and freeze this until the party. And then on the day, I'll just heat it all up in a big Dutch oven. Okay, now for a couple of bedroom updates. Are you seeing this? This has been missing from above our bed for like 4 months. We had to get this art reframed. It was just simply a huge task. And even now with it here, there are still some things about it that are wrong, but that's okay. We chose like the mid-tier option rather than the like museum grade option that was the highest level and price, because this just seemed okay for us. But it, even though this is non-reflective glass, it still has some glare to it from these big windows, and it's just kind of like a what can you do? I don't really notice the glare unless I'm directly filming in front of this, and that doesn't happen very often. And then we did have an incident underneath the frame line here where we put in some drywall anchors and screws, and it did not work out even though we measured twice, and so we still have to patch those holes up because this just got reinstalled like last week. But we're very happy with how it's anchored in now, because previously, since we took it to a different framer to start and they put on the really, you know, high reflective glass and all that kind of stuff back last fall or something, the way that they had mounted the frame on, it was not sturdy enough to be above our bed, and I don't want this to freaking fall on me in the night, you know? So when she reframed this, we use Greenfield Gallery Framer, by the way, if you're in the area, incredible. She installed like a very intense anchoring system so that when we hang it, it has, you would literally have to use like a special tool to rip this out of the wall. So sorry to whoever lives in this house after we do. Anyway, now I'm just sitting here on my big gorgeous bed, and I need to change the sheets, and I've been trying to do this way more frequently than I used to because the pollen season here has been insane. It was not this bad last year. I don't remember, maybe because I was pregnant and my nose was already stuffy in like my late 3rd trimester. Maybe I just didn't even notice the allergies, but oh my god, my allergies this year have been acting a fool. And we haven't turned on our window AC unit yet for the season. I still have to clean that. But in the meantime, to get some air flowing in here, I have been opening this window. And even though there's a screen on it and stuff, I know that pollen has been all up in here. So I'm just trying to get it out of my sheets, put some clean ones on more frequently. We've recently added this Helix mattress topper onto our bed, and I have been loving it, and I can't wait to yap all about it to you. I wanted to get a mattress topper that I could easily pop on and off instead of a whole huge new mattress, because my body just needs a little extra love and support during this season of life. I've been experiencing some lower back pain in recent months postpartum, so I got Helix's Ergo Align mattress topper to help aid in my recovery. It provides lower back support with 3 separate support zones and improves spinal alignment by elevating my hips and midsection. It's also made with this cooling fabric called Glaciotex, which is ideal for me because even though those early days of postpartum night sweats are behind me, I still run super hot when I sleep. This mattress topper has helped me get much more restorative rest, and I can tell it's really helping because my ultrahuman ring that I use to track my sleep has shown much less tossing and turning at night than I used to before I had it on. Because let's be honest, getting better sleep helps in all areas of my life, but it's also huge in aiding in my recovery from this back pain. So if you're in the market for a new mattress or a mattress topper, Helix is having a Memorial Day sale and running an exclusive offer of 27% off site-wide at the link below. Thanks Helix for sponsoring today's video. Oh my god, should we do a cool transition of putting these sheets on? Like what if I throw them at the bed and then they're magically on? I'm going to put some sheets on my bed right now. Wow, incredible. Now I just have to put on more of our pillowcases and our duvet. I washed our duvet cover fairly recently, so I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to put it back on along with all of my other 5,000 pillows. So let's do that right now. All done. I have a ton of clothes to list on Depop from my previous closet clean out, so I'm just gonna be doing that for a little bit. I already started, but I forgot to start filming it. So I'm just gonna do a little time lapse, and I'm listening to my book, Empire of Storms. This vinegar has been soaking in here for at least like a half hour, so I'm gonna dump it and scrub it. This is distilled white vinegar, by the way. I try to clean my humidifier in our room at least once a month with like a deep clean like this, but it has been pretty humid here recently with all the rain that we've been getting, so we've just been sleeping with the window open. This float is like one of the harder parts to get off, but it does just snap off like that, and then you can clean underneath it. I feel like a lot of people have these for their babies' bedrooms and stuff like that. Also, I already cleaned and dried the other parts of my humidifier the other day. There is some like calcification that happens on these that's kind of tough to get off unless you scale it. It's not a huge deal to me, but you could use like a little razor blade and sort of like chisel it off. But I will say something that helps keep my humidifier really clean is this little humidifier fish, because it used to get a lot grosser before I had that. I cleaned the reservoir and all the other parts with a 50-50 white vinegar and water mixture. And there is a sponge filter that goes in here. Do not pour vinegar into here unless you have removed the filter, okay? Unless you wanna like be filtering vinegar water into your home for the rest of eternity. I'm learning from experience, okay? You take that out, dispose of the old filter, wash all of the interior like pieces and stuff with the vinegar mixture, and then once everything is good and dry, replace the filter. One of the harder places to get is like inside this little crevice here and like around the cracks, but I truly just try my best. There is a tiny little screw here that you can take out and I assume remove this whole area, but I don't know if I wanna go to that length today. Now we just reassemble all of this. New clean filter, going on in, clips in there. I almost forgot my humidifier fish. Good to go. I hope this serves as motivation for you to clean your freaking filters in your room and your HEPA filter. I'm actually about to bring a new filter up to my Lavoit. Hey Lavoit, love your work. Would love to work together, brother. And I clean that filter regularly, but I also replace the big filter when it starts to get a little bit too gross underneath there's like a mesh layering here that you can just easily wipe off. But once like the filter inside behind that is like discolored and dark, I replace it. I am heading to a plant swap for the first time, and I can't freaking wait. I got my dragonfly earrings on. I'm also wearing a moth shirt. Damn it, you can't even really see it. From Perusha People and Ebby Moyer. They did a little collab. You know I'm gonna support my girl. I'm currently on my way to go pick up my neighbor's daughter, who I am carpooling with to this event. And then when I'm there, I'm going to be meeting a fellow YouTube friend. And you might be thinking, YouTube friend in the middle of rural Vermont? Yes. There's this gal who I realized through watching her vlogs that came up in my recommended, because we're like in the same area doing the same thing. I was like looking at some landmarks in her videos and I was like, hold on, I think this girl lives near me. So I just shot my shot, as some of you do for me when you meet me in real life, like many of the subscribers who I have become friends with. And I was just like, hey, I watched your vids, I think we'll vibe. Do you want to get a coffee and go thrifting? And we did, and it was totally wicked. And I'm going to see her today as well. I invited her to this event because she's kind of newer to the area, so I wanted her to be able to meet people. Her name is Jess, by the way. Her username is Jess Among the Wild. Chill lady, fantastic company. So I'm excited, and I'm late, so bye. Also to the plant swap, I'm bringing my snake plant because I really hope somebody there with a green thumb will be able to save it and give it a good home, because I am not currently giving it a good home. Coming to you live from the back of my trunk. I want to show you what I got at the plant swap, and I want to say somebody did take my snake plant, not only for the gorgeous blue pot it was in, but also because it was not dead. It was just struggling. I know you might be thinking, Megan, how did you almost kill a snake plant? They're very resilient. It was forgotten sort of in like a corner for a couple of weeks. I just kind of, I don't know how, but I just forgot about it in the like wing where we're doing a lot of renovations right now. So it just like wasn't really getting a lot of love and light. Anyway, the person who got it was so happy. She had these giant monstera leaf earrings in. She was stoked about having a new houseplant. So happy it went to a new and loving home. As for what I got this, it's in the anise family, but I forget how to say the name. I'll put it on the screen. It's like anisop. I'm probably butchering it. So that's a medicinal herb. And then I got two, I just put them in a jar because they're kind of tiny. But these are two echinacea plants I'm gonna put in my like makeshift front herby garden bed that my mom and I planted last year when I was early postpartum. And then this is really the belle of the ball, or the bells of the ball. Two pawpaw plants. Well, two pawpaw trees, I should say. I actually have a friend who runs a pawpaw farm, so I can ask him, my buddy Mike, about all of these pawpaw things. I'm going to put these up in an area up here where we like plan to have an orchard one day. And then if I want to move them, I can dig them up, but I'm just like hoping that they survive in the meantime. And the guy who gave these to me, he said that he lives on high elevation as well and that these survive and are doing fine. So excited about these. I'm gonna put them all on my porch. I received a giant box in the mail from Lindsay because she's gonna help me when she comes into town with some organizing tasks. So she had to get the gear. It's been raining for like a week and a half straight. Our yard is a little unruly at the moment. We need to mow, but I'm gonna plant these bad boys now. Anise in the ground. Hi, beetles. Larry! Hi! Rue, can you just get a grip for once in your life? What are you doing? You want a ball? I don't have one. So I want to plant the pawpaw trees like around up here where the fire pit is, and I just need a heavier duty shovel for that. So I have the anise, my two little echinacea plants. This is all mint, spearmint, that has obviously taken over this bed. I did not plant any of that here. It was here when we moved in. But we did plant these chives, and then there's some yarrow as well that was here when I moved in. These are some lovely little daffodils, some parsley, lemon balm. There's calendula that's gonna come up too. Lots of them around here. And then I believe that these are zinnias, unless I'm making that up. And then there will be some daylilies that come up in this area too. These were tulips over here as well. And then those are a bed of lilies as well that will come up. And that was here when we moved in too. Hello and good morning. We are about to go to our 1-year pediatrician appointment. Wow. And then after that, I'm actually going to go to the community closet and just sort of sort things as well as look for one item in particular. That's what's really great about the closet. Like if you are using stuff for just a season, like we're approaching summer, we were talking at baby group recently about swim diapers, and we have so many boxes of swim diapers at the closet. So it's like, you don't need to buy that stuff. You can just like come and grab a couple diapers, live it up, use them for the season, and then, you know, donate them back when you're done with them or that size or whatever. So yeah, I am looking for a specific item for her birthday outfit, but if I don't find it, I do have like sort of a backup that I think would work. But honestly, we might not be able to make it to the closet because we'll see how she does at her appointment. Like if she's really ready for a nap or something afterwards, we might just head somewhere else because I have many an errand to run today. I have to go and return something at Staples. I have to look for something else at Staples as well and do technology recycling. I also need to maybe donate some stuff, maybe drop some stuff off at the tailor, but none of that is like, you know, it doesn't need to be done within this time frame at all. And I feel like I had one other thing that I wanted to do while I was out. Oh, I need to send off my Depop orders. I have my big tote bag in the car, but I haven't packed them in their mailers yet, and I left the mailers at home, but I brought the clothes with me. So either way, I'm gonna have to go back to the house to get the mailers and then pack them and then leave again. So that's what we're getting into today. Anyway, it's time for our appointment, lady. Let's go. Well, well, well. Here we are at the closet. I have a little bit of picking up to do, but nothing too crazy. What the heck is this? Scrap of fabric from somewhere? Normally I just like come in, pick stuff up, vacuum, but it looks like it's in pretty good shape. So I basically just have all of these like labeled bins. Some of them have tops we recently added on and others don't. This out of season sort of winter gear is really overflowing, and the rest of it is being stored in my basement right now. So we have more room for like what's actually in season. We have like one thing of winter gear up there that's out of the way, and people just keep adding to this one as they're like sorting through stuff that comes in. Oh, that is cute. What the heck is this? God, 6 months? That wouldn't fit her, but very adorable. But yeah, we did like a big clean out and big sort. I like vacuumed off all of these shelves, wiped them all down. These are, what does this say? Masks, and that's like an old bin. A lot of these bins are like donated. Yeah, that's the label we need to see. Bathing suits. Anyway, we recently put out this like pregnancy and maternity rack, as well as clothes in here, as well as just like down below, nursing bras, belly support, all that kind of stuff, stuffed animals. And then we have all these toys and books that people donate. We have diapers, bibs, swaddles and sleep sacks, leggings and accessories. God, this is cute. What is this? Little bloomer set? That's adorable. But yeah, normally when I come in, I also take all of the like empty hangers and try to put new stuff on those if stuff's getting taken. We're putting out stuff like this. I had something like this when I was younger, a little learn to swim thing. But putting out all of the summer stuff. We have all of our like breast pump and breast milk storage bags. We keep all of our new donations that come in down here, but it looks like they've all been sorted, which is incredible. Formula and food stuff. I need to go through these things. We normally don't take pacifiers, so what I really need to do is find a black little onesie for like 12 to 18 months. It seems we really have an influx of winter donations coming in because it has grown so much since we took those bins and I took them back to my house, some of them. But it makes sense because now that it's actually getting warmer here, people are like, oh, I'm done with my winter stuff, I'll just donate it to the closet. But yeah, I need to definitely store some of this stuff elsewhere. Once it starts overflowing out of the bins, I'm like, oh God. I don't know how well you can read these signs down here, but we also have big kid stuff, teen stuff, the whole 9 yards. We just have a lot more of baby stuff. Even our toddler stuff is like kind of dwindling right now, but 3 to 6 month baby things always overflowing, 12 to 18 months, just like the sizes that babies outgrow rapidly, which is why this is such like an amazing resource to have around. Yeah, I don't know how much I've talked about the community closet on here. I feel like I've talked about it a little bit on various platforms, definitely on Instagram when we did that big clean. I talked about it on there and I showed like before and after pictures. I'm gonna put a label on this, find a top for it, hopefully, and store it up there. Some of these bins don't have tops because people will like donate a bunch of stuff with a bin, and oftentimes it won't have like a mated top, which is fine. We love the bins. But yeah, this is a completely free resource for people in our community to come and swap stuff and not even like give stuff to. You don't have to donate to it to take from it. People always like get confused about that when I'm volunteering. They're like, really? I don't need to like, you know, do a swap situation. I'm like, no, literally just come and take what you need. It's so great. And then we also do like specific casework for families. So like if, for example, somebody's getting like custody of a handful of children, then they'll give us their sizes and then we'll be like, okay, we'll provide you with a bunch of clothes and, you know, accessories, boppy pillows, stuff like that. Some of the bigger things we don't really have room for in here, but we'll like collect all of that stuff and then give it to whoever needs it. Anyways, I'm gonna tidy up for a little bit. Gotta put some labels on some things while my baby's having a totally wicked time playing with the stuffies. I got a little sidetracked, but I did find what I needed, so we should head out. Otherwise, I'll stay here for hours just sorting and labeling and spending my day here. I'm going to take this bag of textile recycling. People often donate stuff here and we have to weed out like the soiled items. So I have people put them in bags here, and then whatever is like irrelevant to our closet, it can be donated elsewhere. You know, like if it's not maternity or baby or kid related, you'd be surprised people donate really random stuff. So then we just take it to the thrift store. But this is empty, so I have to take that. I'm gonna take out the garbage and recycling, and we're leaving it a little better than we found it. I realized I accidentally took the closet's giant orange marker that we use for all of our labeling, so I have to actually go back and deliver that now, but that's okay. I keep this little basket in my car now full of closet related supplies. You never know when you'll need a lint roller, some post-it notes or tape. Y'all, I literally just had to make an emergency stop for allergy relief pills. The allergies this year, I mean, they're just really doing me in, fellas. It's kind of like,
no,
what the?
You don't have any cookies. That's too bad.
John Marco, thank you. Also, I just got this at Walgreens and Every single time I go in there, whenever I walk by the Squishmallows, I'm like, don't even fucking look at me, okay? I don't even care how cute you are. I can't even purchase another one. Okay, looking for a little relief from the sniffly nose, the watery, itchy eyes. I keep saying I'm gonna stop wearing my contacts until the pollen goes away, and then I still wear them every day because I'm like, oh, I don't know, it might rain today, and then I hate when my glasses get all rainy, and then it doesn't happen, and I'm like, God, now I just have itchy eyes. But I have been enjoying the contact life other than during pollen season. Okay, this was actually just a mere stop on the way. I need to go to Staples. I have to be honest, I always have to gear up to go in here because it feels like purgatory. The amount of time that I spend in this store just standing, waiting around because they're so severely understaffed. So hey, if you're a young person, you're looking to move to Brattleboro and you need a job, Staples, honey, they are hiring, okay? They are desperate. Also because this is where you have to take all your returns for like Amazon and UPS and stuff. So people are always doing that and always waiting at the return counter. I'm about to do that right now. I gotta return something for the Finster, and then I'm looking for something for myself for a little first birthday craft project. They got me, brother. You're looking at the new member of Staples Rewards program. Normally I say no to stuff like that. Unless it equals money, I don't care. But they told me today, honey, it equals money. And I was like, what? They told me that when you recycle tech at Staples, you get points, and then those points you can turn into like $10 off of a purchase or something. And so he was like, I mean, you're basically just throwing away money. And I was like, I've recycled tech here like 3 or 4 times. And he was like, well, I mean, now you know. And he said if you just let them know what you recycle and then give them your rewards number, you know, your points add up. So I did that. And I also got my little folder for my project, which I'll show you later on. And now I'm starving and I really want to go get food, and she's asleep. So I'm trying to decide if I want to just do like a quick taco situation. Golden Retriever on the loose in the parking lot. They're trying to wrangle him. He's just like, he's being switched from trunk to trunk, and he's just having a heyday. Anyway, I'm not going to show these random people. I'm going to try to see what's open for lunch. Today I'm trying somewhere I've never been. The porch. Y'all, I gotta tell you about a little social flop I had at the porch today. So the food was great. I got a tuna lemon dill wrap and a lemonade. Both delectable, incredible. We'll definitely be coming back. Also, I just learned that they have all day breakfast, which literally nowhere in town has that. So I don't know why I didn't know about this earlier. It's been on my list to try the porch, but I just have not. Anyway, it was really good. But when I was in there, Corvidia was first asleep, so I went with her in the stroller, and then she woke up and she wanted to get out of the stroller and sit with me at the table. So I was like, oh, you know what? I'm not gonna bother these legends behind the counter. I'm gonna go and help myself to a high chair because I see the section where they are. I go over, I got Corvidia in one arm, the other arm I'm picking up a high chair. The leg of it hits a jar in the window, or like a vase. It shatters. It's a tiny place. Everybody turns around and looks at me. The guy behind the counter who I ordered from was like, it's totally fine. I'm so clumsy. I'll come over and help you. And I was like, I literally was trying to not bother you guys by asking you to get me a high chair, and instead I broke your vase, and now you're gonna have to sweep up the glass, and I have to do a walk of shame back to my table. I mean, it's just embarrassing, people. So I had to confess my flop to you. Okay, my last errand is hitting up Ace Hardware. All right, some 64-ounce ball mason jars. I had to get these before Lindsay comes into town for a project you'll see later. Okay, Etsy birthday party decor haul. So Corvidia's first birthday party theme is birds of a feather. It was going to be like just crow themed, you know, because of her name. But when I told Lindsay that, she was like, maybe all birds could be kind of fun. And I really agree, because then it's not just like black colored, although there are really fun things on Etsy for all of the crow things, which you'll see in here. But also we added in like some pastels, so it's not just like very dark goth baby birthday party. This is a garland that's like homemade. It's basically like little fabric pieces that feel like tiny little pillows, and then there's little crows all over them, and they look like little sunflowers. It's very natural and gorge. I'm going to hang it up here. This is our high chair banner. I didn't want to get just like a black and white one because I can just save this and use it for future children, hopefully. And so I got just like a general gender neutral pastel. And then speaking of pastels, I also got this little bird garland that has like all these lovely little birds in flight. I'm probably gonna hang those here. I have 2 of them. And then these actually came in a big garland as well, like one long string. But my friend came over and set them all up, and I asked if she could make them individual birds of varying length of rope so I can hang them just like randomly throughout this space on the ceiling beams. But they're like these little honeycomb pastel birds in flight. Very cute. These are the thank you cards that we got, and they're packaged so lovely. I don't really want to open them. People on Etsy, they really go hard. But I'll put a photo on the screen of what the cards look like. And then I'll also put a photo on the screen of what this garland looks like because it's so friggin' cute. And I'm going to put it here to replace this one that says, "Oh baby, welcome." That's been there since her birth. But also this little checklist is so helpful. Even though I'm not having a baby shower, I will be following the checklist. And then these are some of my favorite little crow gifts I found. These are going to be our party favors. They're just empty little trinket boxes, and it has this fun little wording inside. I just thought it was so cute. Perfect place for rocks. And then this is also one of my favorite things. They basically make food so that you can win over the crows in your yard. And so I got like a whole assortment of stuff. And I'm going to set up outside a little crow bar on like one of these trays, I think, with little piles of food. And then also, hopefully, I'm getting a bird bath from one of my favorite antique stores in town. I just have to go and look at it within the next few days. And then I also handmade some signs that I'm gonna have next to things to like make it all make sense with like little silly bird puns. I don't know, I'm very excited. Obviously on the day, I'll like take lots of photos or have Lindsay take lots of photos and videos so that I can be in the moment, but not forget all the hard work that I did for this decor, because I'm not putting it up right now. The party's not for a little bit longer, so I got time. And I also want my family's help when they come into town. But yeah, I'm really excited about all this stuff, and friggin' Etsy, man. I just love them. I had a total hoot and holler in time on Etsy when I was getting all this stuff. I was like, yeah, oh my God, and I forgot. I also got these little crows for cupcakes. They didn't have a lot of them though, so even though we'll have like 60 cupcakes that I got from a local bakery, only like 25 of them will have a little raven in them, but whatever. Okay, here's my cute little craft station. So this is all of the signs that I've made. This one is gonna be outside next to the crowbar, and I came up with this little idea afterwards of like what to do with all of the bird food, because I don't really expect all of the birds to be like randomly flocking into our yard. So this made it more of like a fun activity for people to do. And then I was saying earlier in this video that I really want it to be great weather on her birthday so we can play yard games, and I can use this bird pun sign to can play that game. Oh, it's good. And then I'm gonna put this next to the tacos. And then last year on Father's Day, I made Finley this cute little memory booklet just with a folder and like makeshift items that I had around the house. I didn't like go out to gather supplies to make it or anything like I do for his yearly memory book that I still haven't started on for this year, and it's getting really late, but I do normally deliver those on our first anniversary. But with Corvidia's birthday now, like a week or so before our wedding anniversary, she is my main priority, but I do still make those for him. But this one was just, yeah, a small little like 2 weeks of her life put into a memory book. But for her birthday, I'm making her one silly goose booklet so people can flip through and see a funny peek into her first year of life. And I already like printed all the photos and everything, but I basically just like put 2 photos per page and write next to them whatever happened on that day, or like, you know, a little caption for it. And then I'll put the paper in like a sheet protector, and then in here they have little brackets so I can clip in all of the sheet protected stuff. So it's not that many photos. I think it's like 30 photos or something from the year, just like her silliest shots. But I'm going to add in some of these stickers onto the pages that one of the Etsy shops gifted me for free. It was the one that I bought the crow food from. And they also included in this cute little crow cutout that I guess you could use as like an ornament or something like that. But I think I might try to cut out this little dot here because I don't know how else I would like fill it in. And then I might use this as like a cake topper for her little smash cake. That's what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the night, just working on her little silly goose booklet. That is not an original thought, by the way. The theme One Silly Goose is a very common like first birthday theme I found when I was looking for bird party decorations on Etsy. So feel free to steal that. It's a very cute idea. There was many little silly goose things on there. Honey, I am going to be going hard on this party. And it's just so fun. It's so fun to decorate. And like for my baby shower and my bridal shower and stuff like that, oftentimes it's like you have other people, like my maid of honor, Lindsay, who like decorated a lot for my bachelorette and like my bridal shower with my mom and stuff. And then for our baby shower, my mother-in-law decorated. So this is kind of fun just to like decorate for somebody else and just like pour my heart into this little moment. I mean, I have done that for Finley over the years, especially his epic Pokemon party a couple of years ago. I still saved all of those decorations, just hoping that one of our children in the future will want to have a Pokemon themed birthday party. But anyway, this is just what I'm going to be up to. I have a handful of things still on the to-do list, but surprisingly, I'm not feeling a lot of stress. I'm just feeling like, okay, we're gonna have, sorry if you hear Larry drinking his nighttime water, little nightcap. I'm going to be, yeah, having like more family come into town and just all of the helping hands that I know I need, and just people have been so incredible, especially our friends, just like helping with like the garland, helping Finley with the bathroom, just like tying up all these loose ends and just giving their time to us, which has been so, so nice just to have people to help. It's hard sometimes for us to ask for help. I think we're both very like proud people in the way of just being like, I want to do it all, you know, but sometimes it's like, you can't do it all. So if you need that reminder, then that is my reminder for you today, just to ask for help when you need it. The night that I'm filming this, my mom is actually coming tomorrow afternoon, so I'm very excited to have her help just with cleaning and all of those things too, because I thought that I would get more cleaning done in this video than I did, but I'm gonna keep this kind of short. I mean, I did clean like the ceiling fans so I could turn them on and like circulate air around the house for the season, but I definitely need to do some dusting and vacuuming and all of those things. So I know that she is always a huge help in that arena, my Virgo queen. So I'm looking forward to having her for that, as well as just like errand running and like grocery help, because even though I'm prepping ahead the meat, I'm also, I wanted to say, going to be making tomorrow the carne asada beef for the tacos and probably the butternut squash. My mom might help me with that, actually. The only reason I didn't do it in this video is because I ran out of all of my seasonings that I need to marinate my beef. But at least you got to see the chicken recipe. And I'm basically just going to get corn and flour tortillas and hard shell tacos, and then just like all of the fresher ingredients the days before, or send one of my family members to the store to do that. So getting like guacamole ingredients, fresh tomatoes and red onion and like all of those things. And then the day of the party, I'm probably gonna send somebody to go like pick up the cupcakes, and then I can just put in the little toothpicks with the crows on them that morning. But yeah, I'm trying to think of like what else I need to do. I mean, other than just like watering the plants and making sure that like the bedding is laid out for Nevin because she's staying here, which I'm so excited about. Girls' night, every night, sleepover party. And my sister's gonna be staying here for a couple of the nights too. But my parents booked an Airbnb, so she might be like splitting her time in between those places. But who knows? She might be addicted to me, darling. She might not want to leave. I haven't seen her since September, which is crazy. Oh, I'm so excited to be reunited. So much content to come, seriously. Like, we just have so many ideas, and I hope we never really finish all of them, but we at least do like a handful of them, you know? So I know that you'll be getting something. And also, at the end of this, I just wanted to say that I know throughout this video I was saying that I need to like pack up and send off my Depop orders, but I feel like most of you understand that I'm kind of like headstrong right now, focused in on this birthday party for my daughter. So unless you need something like ASAP shipped to you, I'm probably going to do all of the shipping out next Monday when all my family leaves town. Because in the next few days, it's like my mom comes, and then all of Finley's family comes, and then the rest of my family comes, and then Nevin comes, and then the party, and then it's just like, you know, a whirlwind. So I'm gearing up for that. But I really can't say enough. Like, I'm not feeling stressed. I'm just feeling like, oof, that's a full plate, honey. But I know we can do it. So anyway, I just wanted to show a little bit of party prep, random tasks in this too. The plant swap, gardening. I don't know. This was kind of like a cluster of a video, but I hope you enjoyed it. The only thing that I really wish is that we got to do a little bit more cleaning, but it is what it is. At least we got to do the closet clean out in my last video, cleaning something. I am feeling a very like spring cleaning energy. That's why I'm saying that. But hey, I'll wait to bring in the big guns, aka my mommy. Ugh, can't wait to see her. Okay, well, just really looking forward to the week ahead, and I will talk to you probably after this crazy week ends. But until then, you can just find me on my socials and on my Patreon. Okay, I love you. I'll see you in my next one. Stay smiling. Bye, y'all.